Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2020. It's Dr. Chantal Bonmanson Kungu here, aka Dr. Mom, and I wanted to share with you 10 tips on how to optimize your health during cough, cold, flu, and runny nose season. Obviously, if there's anything that I say that contradicts advice that your physician has given you, please adhere to your doctor's advice. All right? During the months of, I'd say, late September until early March, cough, cold, nasal congestion, just general ickiness, they all are a part of the most common reasons why patients come in and see us, certainly in the clinic and also in the urgent care. And so I found that these 10 things can help substantially in not only how you feel, but even prevention. So number one is hydration. Hydration is so imperative to good health. 60% of your body is comprised of water. And so that just tells you how important it is to your body. It's essential to proper organ function. It helps with blood pressure, maintaining an adequate blood pressure. It helps with your brain function. It's very important in delivering blood and vitamins and nutrients to all the different parts of your body. It's important in lubricating your joints, be it your fingers to your spine, to your shoulders, your elbows, your knees, and your hips. Water is definitely key. And so many of us, myself included, walk around chronically dehydrated, which isn't a good thing. And I am embarrassed to share with you, but I will, because I want to be an open book and transparent, and I want to get better myself. I'm embarrassed to talk about how little I drink. I mean, there are many days in which I may only have one cup of water a day. I mean, that is crazy. And you know, the recommendation really would be, depending on how much you exert yourself and exercise during the day, a half an ounce to 1 ounce per pound a day is what you should intake. Obviously, if you have any fluid restrictions, then you have to just stick to what it is that you can intake. But you want to take your weight in pounds and divide it by 2, and then that would be the amount of water in ounces that you should take a day, and that's minimum. Okay, so again, anywhere between half an ounce to 1 ounce per pound per day is what you should intake of water. So water, key, number 1. Number 2, your first medicine that you consume is that which enters your mouth, so your food. And what is an adequate and sufficient meal look like? Well, a meal in which there's at least 5 colors represented is adequate, and actually it's superb. So if you can get 5 food color groups on your plate, I'm talking about the reds, which includes cherries, apples, obviously pomegranates, strawberries. That is good because they have lycopenes, tomatoes, a lot of good nutrients in them. Then there's the orange and yellow group, so squash, yam, pineapples. They have beta and alpha carotenes, carrots, as well, vitamin A, and it helps with your eye function. You have your whites, so your cruciferous foods such as garlic and onions, which have antibiotic properties and anti-inflammatory properties. Also in that group are white beans and cauliflower. Those are good. And then there are the blues and the purples, so everything from your dark grapes to blueberries, blackberries, eggplant, etc. Those also have a lot of good antioxidants and other goodies. Of course, there are your greens, right? Your green leafy vegetables, such as you have greens themselves, the vegetable greens. I like greens. Then there's spinach, there's kale, there's obviously broccoli. Greens are key. And then there are the brown groups, right? So beans are helpful. So you want to have at least 5 colors, and I'm not talking about ketchup, and mustard counting. The condiments don't count. Real foods, 5 colors at least per meal would be stellar. And so, a way to cheat, because it can be tedious, right? If you're on the go or you have a job where you can't just really sit and eat most of the day, smoothies are a great way to get a nutrient-packed meal in a small volume, so it's easily consumable, if that's even a word. So it's one way that I cheat. I'll throw in some kale, some broccoli, bananas, apple, and a bunch of ice for the water content, and a little bit of honey, and I consume that. And that makes it very easy to meet my nutritional goals at the same time in a small volume that's easy to ingest. So smoothies, key. The other thing is you want to avoid dairy. Okay, dairy during this season. Dairy often leads to congestion. So unless it's your yogurt that you're taking for the probiotic content, I would avoid dairy products. So cheeses, milk, cow's milk, etc. Also, you want to, I forgot to mention this. As far as smoothies, so I have a couple of my boys, my sons, are vegetable adverse, meaning they will look at a plate of grains and they eek, almost as though the greens or vegetables are going to come up on the plate or jump up from the plate onto them and kill them or bite them. I mean, it's crazy some of the reactions you get, right, from vegetables are the good things.
Can you stop crying? Why? Why are you crying? Why is he crying, Timmy? Why are you crying? Why are you sad? Why are you sad?
So for kids, you have to be creative, like constantly as a parent evolving and becoming smarter, and you out smart these kids. So what I do is I will make smoothie popsicles, right? Because they don't know what I throw into the blender. I could put anything in there, and I do. And then, you put a dash of honey in it, and it just makes it taste glorious, or you add some banana as a sweetener. And then I have the old school like popsicle crates, and I will dump the smoothie into the popsicle crate and put it in the freezer, and then they light up. There's something magical about frozen treats for kids. So I suggest doing that if you have kids like mine who are scared of vegetables. All right. So the other thing to do that I recommend is taking a daily probiotic. Now, there is a lot of research currently with probiotics, and quite honestly, some controversy into the effectiveness of probiotics and which forms are best and what's the real utility of them. But I still recommend them. A daily probiotic. Now, there are a plethora of different brands to choose from. The most important thing is what actual strains are included in the probiotic, right? Because some have just one type of microbe in it, and then others have more. So you want to make sure that whatever probiotic you consume, that it has lactobacillus in it and also bifidobacterium. Now, within those two species, there are multiple different strains or types. So there's like breve and whatever else. But you just make sure that it says lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. If there are additional microbes such as Saccharomyces, all the more better, the more benefit. But make sure there are at least those two strains in them. So daily probiotic. You want to also avoid processed and fast foods. So your microwavable, quick foods, and then the fast foods are generally not healthy. They tend to be calorie rich, but nutrient deficient or low. So you want to avoid processed foods during this season. Save it for 4th of July and the summertime if you consume them at all. But certainly during this cold flu season, avoid that. Also avoid sugary drinks and sugary foods. Now, your immune system is created to protect you so when I say protect you, I mean to protect your body from getting sick. Okay, whether it be from foreign pathogens such as the flu, or so from infections, or just protects your body's overall health. That your body's constantly fighting to stay healthy and constantly keeping cells in check, etc. And so sugar, what it does is it sort of puts your immune system not to sleep, but for lack of a better term, it suppresses the immune system's ability to do its job. So sugar is not good. Processed sugar is not good for you. So you want to avoid or completely eliminate your sodas during this time. I mean, if you have it once in a while, fine, but I would avoid daily soda intake. The juices that tend to be just full of syrup with some water, avoid and throw those out during this time. Also, you want to continue to exercise. So the recommendation of exercise would be at least 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week of some type of cardiovascular workout and stimulation, right? It's really important for good blood flow to all of your body, your brain, your muscles. Also, it helps your lymphatic system. The lymphatics are responsible for eliminating waste in your body. Well, exercise really helps that. So continue to exercise during this time. Now, if you do begin to feel stuffy and congested and just sick and unwell, I do recommend a tea. And I will in a future video walk you all through how to actually make the tea, but for now let's just talk about the ingredients. So garlic, as I mentioned before, is really good as an anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. It has antibacterial properties. So I take a little clove of garlic, chop it up. I mix in some ginger root, so I cut off the skin of the ginger root and then crush the ginger a bit so that the actual juices of the ginger can seep out some. And then clove, which is a spice, I add some clove. Anise. Anise is another spice. I crush a little bit of anise, and then have cinnamon, whether it be the cinnamon powder or the cinnamon sticks. I add all of those components and ingredients to water, boil it for a couple of minutes, and then let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then consume that liberally throughout the day. Or if you're sick, definitely a couple of times a day, or even preventatively. So my kids, I'll just give them some morning tea, and it has all of those goodies in the tea. All right, and then lastly, there is honey. I love honey. So it makes me excited just saying it, honey. So honey is a natural decongestant. So it can help with some of the symptoms that you feel of, just like my sinus pressure is off the charts, or I'm having a cough, a sore throat. The honey, a teaspoon to 3 teaspoons a day, can really help soothe the back of your throat. It can help with cough and also as a decongestant. Now, honey, you want to give to anyone who's 12 months or over. So don't give it to anyone below 12 months or below 1 year old. You do not give honey because there's a posed risk of an infection from Clostridium botulinum. Big deal. So don't give honey to babies, okay? And even though you can give it to someone 12 months or older, with my own kids, I waited until they're at least 13 months just to be safe. So I hope that information was helpful for you. Again, I am Dr. Chantel Bonman-Senkungu, aka Dr. Mom, and want to make sure that you all are remaining healthy and that I'm able to help you with that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Mom's Corner, so that you will be the first to know of any videos as they are produced. Thank you again for tuning in. Goodbye.